I need help. I'm in terrible trouble and I need help.
Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see, absolute horror. I cannot live, I cannot die. Trapped in myself, fighting my only fear.
It's Morse code. For what? SOS.
Hello gamers! Thank you for tuning into Thark Gaming. In today's episode, we will explore how to most cost effectively get a event character to +8 on promotion. How are we going to do that? Well, let's find out. So during certain events, there was the Sabo event early on, there was the Sengoku event and the Marco event. Well, actually now there is a Ivankov event where you can get Ivankov fragments and work on promoting him as high as possible. Alternatively, a lot of people just want to collect the event-specific points, and in this case, it's Sakura branches. Previously, it was Sakura, and prior to that, I forget what it was. But if you get 800 of those, you can turn it in to get an outfit called the Christmas outfit. You got that for Sabo, for Sengoku, and Marco. For the Ivankov event, I believe you get a new outfit called the Will of D. I don't know too much about that specific outfit, just because it's brand new and no one's equipped it yet. But from what I understand, it's a damage outfit versus a healing outfit. And the damage, I believe, is to all crew members of the opposing side. So it's not a single target, it's a AoE damage. But I could be wrong, so feel free to comment below and let me know if I'm wrong. Okay, so now let's get back to what's important, right? Everyone here wants to know, how do we most effectively get the event character up to +8 as soon as possible and most cost effectively? The answer is not simple, but if you look at the Lantern page, you're going to see that you can do a spin for free one time a day, and then you can also do it for 200 gold. Or you can do a 10 spin for 1900 gold. You're definitely saving 100 gold each time you do the 10 spin, which can effectively, if you know you're going to get at least 100 points or 200 points, just so you can get some fragments and more Sakura, by all means, definitely get the 10 time spin. But if you don't have enough gold and you just want to do the free spins, just stick to the free spins. We're still going to be able to get enough. Definitely for the Christmas suit, but if you're not doing too well with the dragon event, you might want to spend some gold and at least get to like 100 points on the Lantern. Okay, now let's get down to the more important things like the actual math and calculations behind how many Sakura you can collect over the event time and how many fragments you can collect for the event character, whether it's Marco or Ivankov. The spreadsheet you see in front of you right now is how I kept tabs of the accumulation I got through the Marco event, which was a few weeks ago. What I did was essentially keep track of all the daily login bonuses I picked up. So I got 2 Sakura every day just by logging in and claiming that bonus, right? So that's like a total of 7 days, so 14. And then for the Dharma event, the first half was looking at the clues and trying to figure out where those hidden Dharma dolls were and attacking them. On average, I'll be honest, it really depends on your server too, how many people are active. But if you're really quick and if you're intuitive, you look at the clue and you're able to figure it out by yourself, not by reading the guild chat or the server chat and trying to ask people for the clues. But if you're able to find it out by yourself, just by using your own intelligence, you should be able to get all 5 at least 3 or 4 times. So if you get the 5 Dharma dolls and are able to attack them 4 times, that's 20 attacks, and each attack gives you 2 Sakura, and that's 40 Sakura in total. Now, I've probably been a little generous right there. Realistically, you may not get that much. Also, I forgot to mention that you will get 5 Sakura. It's either 3 or 5 Sakura on top of the 2 Sakura if you get the killing blow, like the last hit when the Dharma doll dies, you get that additional Sakura. I personally have been unlucky. I've never been able to get that last kill, that kill shot. Just looking at these figures, you can see that on average, I've been scoring between 18 and 20 points, which means that, let's just say 20 was my average. That means I attacked 10 Dharma dolls. So if I got all 5, that means I only had enough time to attack them 2 times for all 5. But realistically, if you're bad at spotting the clues, the first one you should do is right at the home page, right there in the open, there's one Dharma doll. It's a panda. Just click on the panda and get that immediately. If you can get that twice, that's 4 Sakura already. There's always going to be Dharma dolls hidden in the dungeon stages, usually 1 or 2. You just have to find the clue. It could be like a Straw Hat stage or a Fishman stage. Just click on Arlong, but you just need to figure it out. It could be like a Laboon stage. Just look for Laboon. But that all lies on your cleverness or your luck. If people post it on guild chat or server chat, you'll get lucky and you can go there. But that means other people are seeing that too, and everyone's going to click on that, which means it's not going to last long. It's going to die very quickly. There's always almost one in Strongworld, and you basically have to decipher a clue like Fame and Fortune. That's usually Whitebeard. So you always go to the first one, not Whitebeard 2 or Whitebeard 3, just go to Whitebeard 1. It's always the first one. I remember there was one clue that said ex-Navy or fallen from grace. That's essentially implying that X-Drake used to be a Marine and now he's not a Marine, fallen from grace. So you want to go to X-Drake Chapter 1 in New World. But just be clever, know your One Piece theory and history, and you'll do well. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, that was for the Marco event before the server merged. Now the servers are merged, and there's so much more people competing with the same 5 to get the same 5 Dharma dolls. Yes, it's going to be hard, I won't lie. Just looking at today, so today was the first day for Ivankov. It's only half day so far, so I really don't have a lot to go by. But this morning, I was only able to attack 3 Dharma dolls, 1 time each. So yeah, that's bad. Well, I was late to the party, so I missed the Dharma doll that was right in the homepage. I missed that one because by the time I clicked on it, it was already dead. So yeah, I attacked 3 dolls and got 2 Sakura each for them, so a total of 6 Sakura. That's very bad. I hope later this evening I will be able to get more than 3 Dharma dolls. But as you can see, I just when I do my calculations, I just project my daily Sakura earnings through for the next days, just so I have an idea if I keep getting 6 Sakura for the Dharma dolls every day for both times, I'm going to end up at 763. I want to get at least 800, right? So at least I can get the freaking suit. But my goal is to get 1040 Sakura. Let's go back to the Marco calculations. For Marco, although I did end up spending, I did top up a little bit, and we'll get to that in a second. I'm not saying you have to top up, but if you're not rich like a VIP 6 or a VIP 10 and you're just a basic VIP like me, you might want to spend like less than $1 each day. So if you spend like 89 cents, oh, by the way, use PayPal and not the other stupid G coins or whatever. If you use PayPal right now, they have a discount for 10% off. So instead of spending 99 cents here and $10 essentially here, I'm saving $1 each transaction here, and I'm saving 10 cents each year. So at least do the 89 cents, like the dollar transaction, which is essentially topping up for 60 gold. Do that twice a day for the 7 days. So that's 14 times that you're spending the 89 cents. And that totals up to $12.46. So if you can spend $12, try to get at least the basic ones. And I'll get to that in a second. You're not just getting 7 Sakura each, so that's a total of 98 Sakura just by doing the minimum 89 cents. You're also getting ribs from that because you get the cumulative top-up bonus, and you're also getting ribs for the relay gifts and like the daily login bonuses. And believe me, ribs are very important. We'll get to that in a second. And also you're going to get the cumulative Sakura bonuses. So if you top up a total of 300 gold, so this is 60 each, right? So within 5 times of top up, you're already at 300 gold cumulative top-up, which will give you an extra 10 Sakura. If you get to 800, you'll get another 15 Sakura. To get to the 2000 gold top-up, you're going to have to spend the extra 899, which is for the 15 Sakura. If you do that 2 times, you're spending $17 or almost $18. But you will get an additional 30 Sakura, plus you will get the 20 Sakura bonus here for the cumulative 2000 top-up. And you're going to get a whole bunch of ribs. In addition to that, a lot of marks and promote stones just from the daily top-up bonuses. So altogether I spent $30, mainly because of the PayPal discount, where I was saving 10%, or I would have spent closer to $35. I know the math doesn't really add up. I mean, 10% extra on 30 is 33, but if you were to calculate this one at a time, if you were spending 99 cents or almost $1 and then $10 here, I mean, do the math yourself. It's 14 times 1, so that's $14, and plus $20 here, so that's 34. Okay, so it's not quite 35, so it's about $34. But yeah, with the discount, it came to $30.44. Now, this is the one and last time I'm ever going to top up. I wish I had known about all this when the Sabo event was going on. I actually started playing this game at the last 2 or 3 days of the Sabo event, and I didn't even know what all this was, what the heck Sakura was, or Dharma dolls, or the dragon. I didn't know any of that. I was still learning the game, and I was probably like level 19 or level 20. Total noob at the time. Still am. So knowing this definitely helps. In future events like Ivankov, I am not going to stress out about getting Ivankov to a higher level, because Ivankov is pretty decent, but I spent a little bit on Sengoku to get him to +8, mainly through ribs, I'll get to that in a second. So if you're watching this and you're someone who does not want to top up at all, let's say you're 9 years old and your parents won't let you top up, don't worry, there is a way to get your characters to +8, but you have to be very patient. Most of the younger players that I've met on the game, unfortunately, they don't have that quality, which is patience. Whatever they get, whether it's gold or ribs, they just want to spend it immediately. And unfortunately, with that mentality, you won't be able to get to that +8 promote unless you spend gold or top up to get the gold and the Sakura and whatever. Okay, so let's go back to Ivankov. So again, if you want to get Ivankov to +8, please be patient, spend wisely, and try your best to get to 1040 Sakura. I know initially you might be, when you get to the 800 Sakura, you might, let me just get the Christmas outfit or the Will of D outfit. But then you're going to have to start all over at 0 and get it to 1040, which is impossible. It's not impossible, but you know what I mean. It's almost impossible. So make up your mind right from the beginning. Do you want the suit this time, or do you want to get a character, the event character, to +8 promotion? If you choose to get the event character to +8 promotion, stick with that, right? There's always more events where you can get the Christmas suit or the Will of D suit. That's not going away. It will always come back. But the likelihood that, so for instance, I missed out on Sabo. I will never get an opportunity to get Sabo to +8 or +9, right? Even if I spend 60 summon contracts like every other 2 or 3 weeks when I get a lot of gold and summon contracts through spins, I'm still gonna like really struggle getting my Sabo to like +6 or +7, maybe +8, but that's spending all my summon contracts, which I should be saving for other characters too. So I am not going to even bother with Sabo unless there's another event that comes. I hope there is, but it's unlikely. So I took the same mentality when I got Marco. I just made up my mind. Marco is probably not going to come back as an event, and the event is the fastest way to promote a character. So I decided to pass on the Christmas suit. So yeah, I'm a noob. I still don't have the Christmas suit. Sorry to disappoint. This event, I am probably not going to get Ivankov for multiple reasons, and one of the smaller reasons being that there's a lot of competition since the server merge, and rather than really struggling to get a 1040, I mean, the worst thing that can happen is I try for 1040 Sakura, and then I end up at the last day I get 1030 Sakura, which is a total waste. And then I mean, I can't get, I mean, I suppose I can exchange for some Ivankov, but then it's going to be really hard to get Ivankov to +8. So at that point, I could be like, well, I could get the suit, the Will of D suit, but then that's 800 Sakura, and like the remaining 200 plus Sakura is just a waste. I could always get shadows maybe, like and random shadows. It's all luck, right? I won't even have enough to get a red pet. So that's why I said make up your mind. If you're going to get the event character, Ivankov or Marco or whatever, just stick to that. Don't change your mind midway, whether it's Wednesday or Thursday, even if it's like the last day. If you had on Monday, if you had made up your mind to get Ivankov, stick with that. Okay, and try your best to get the 1040 Sakura. You might have to spend some gold and get some extra lantern points, because like if you're at 900, you can get to 1040. You just have to burn some gold. To get to 100 points, you just have to spend about 9,500, at the most 9,500 gold. For 9,500 gold or 9,500 for my European friends, you can definitely get 130 lanterns in total. Not lanterns, Sakura. And you just add that to the 900, so you get 1,030, and then you still need another 10 fragments, which, you know, on the dragon events, just spend 100 gold and instead of 18, get 20, right? And do that 5 times and you have the extra 10. I'm not saying spend 100 gold at the same dragon event. I'm saying like the next day or the next event, spend another 100 gold for each of the dragon events and cumulatively get 2 extra Sakura each time. And 5 times you will get the 10 Sakura that you need to push it to 1040. So that was Marco, what I did last time. So for Ivankov, I am not going to, you know, I may spend the minimum $1. I still haven't decided. Even if I spend the minimum, I'm still going to end up spending about $12, $12.46. And, you know, it's not that much, but I still don't think I'm going to spend it. I am very stingy with my money. I have better things to do with my money than spend it on the game. I mean, no, I'm not knocking on people that do spend their money. People have priorities. Some people just like to have fun with the games. And hey, if you want to spend $300-400 on a game, excellent. I know people that have spent $6,000 on a game, and although in my mind it is ridiculous, for them, hey, that's what they want to spend their money on. I mean, some people like to travel. I took a trip with my family to Singapore in December, and I was able to spend a lot of money on that trip, which I couldn't have if I was spending all my money on gaming. But like I said, everyone has their own priority. Mine's a little different. So for me, spending like $12 at the most $30 for a one-time thing is not a big deal. And then, like I said earlier, there are a few people that can't even spend that much money. And that's why I'm making this video to help you guys out. We'll get to the ribs in a second, right? So make sure participation is key, man. You have to get your daily logins. You have to participate in the Dharma doll attacks and the dragon every day, 2 times a day, right? So just get the minimum amount. So so they changed it a little bit. I don't know if they wanted to, they were trying to compensate for the server merge, but back in the Marco event, if you got the top 20, if you got in the top 20 ranks, you would get 9 Sakura. For the Ivankov event, I only got in the top 50 because, you know, I suck. Even with the top 50 ranks, you can get 12 Sakura. And in Marco, for the top 20 ranks, I was only getting 9 Sakura, right? So you get a little bit more there. For top 20, I think right now you're getting 15 Sakura versus 9 Sakura. So there's more Sakura to be had every single day, every single event. But on the downside, the Ivankov frags, so for Marco, I was getting, for being in the top 20, I was getting 13 fragments, right? So being in the top 20 now is, although it's very hard, if you are in the top 20, great. But if you're not, if you're at least in the top 50, you will get 6 fragments of Ivankov. If you're in the top 20, you will get 7. Oh, wow, what a difference. You get 1 extra fragment, you would get 7 instead of 6. Fantastic. Anyway, don't spend your gold to get into the top 20. Like if you're like rank 21 and you know that, spending 100 gold will push you to rank 20 the last minute, spend the gold, that's fine. And make sure you don't do it early on. Like this should literally be the last second, like last 10 seconds of the game or last 5 seconds of the dragon. Just spend that 100 gold if you think you can push your way through. Like I'm talking about like a small, like 1 or 2 million difference between your rank and the rank right above you. But if you're like rank 23 or rank 25, don't even try to get in the top rank 20. It's just a waste of time. It's a difference of 1 Ivankov frag. It's not worth the huge amount of gold you're spending, right? And over here for Sakura, it's only a difference of 3 Sakura. And in all honesty, it's not worth it. But hey, it's up to you. If you want to spend it, go ahead and spend it. All right. Let's talk about ribs, right? So the point of the Dharma dolls and the dragon events is to maximize your Sakura, and you do get Marco frags from here. That's great, but you want to maximize your Sakura and get it to 1040. I don't think I'll be able to do it this time, but if you can, that's great. If you're a heavy hitter, just try to get the highest rank and get as many points here as possible. If you're not a heavy hitter and you have money that you can spend to top up, definitely do at least the minimum, the 89 cents. It's very cheap. So for 2 times a day for 7 days, you will spend $12.46. If you have a little extra money, just wait till the last. Don't wait till the last day. Wait till like Friday and see how you're doing and look at your projections. If you're nowhere close to 1040. On Friday maybe spend the $8.99 to get the 15 Sakura here, and then upon your discretion, if you feel like one more time you need to do it the next day, just do another 15, and that will bump you. I mean, you're spending an extra $18, which totals you up to $30, but you will be getting 30 extra Sakura here. You will be getting a 20 extra for the cumulative top-up bonus, 20 extra Sakura, so that's a total of 50 extra Sakura you're getting just by the extra $8.99 or $10 top-up, whatever you want to call it. That's what I did for Marco, but I will not be doing that for Ivankov because I don't want to spend any money. I'm still not even sure if I'm going to spend the basic amount. I'm just putting this in here just for a projection to see how much. By the way, all this is calculated. It totals the total amount of Sakura in all these columns and adds it up on right here. And the same formulas are used for seeing how much money you're spending. Like it just calculates the $8.99 or the $8.99 or the 89 cents, totals it up to how many days you spent it, and then it totals up over here. So if you want a copy of the spreadsheet, just let me know. Send me a private message, and I'll shoot you a copy. And you can feel free to use it for this event or the next event, whatever you want. Okay, so getting to 1040 Sakura is important because if you can get 1040 Sakura, you can get 4 event characters. What I mean is, like, if it's a Ivankov event, you get 4 Ivankovs, right? And just by getting 4 Ivankovs, you can already get the person to +6. An extra 2 Ivankovs gets to +7, and then an extra 4 after that gets you to +8. So try for at least 1040 Sakura to get the 4 Ivankovs or the Marcos, whichever event it is. And that's what I did last time. I was able to get 1040 Sakura. Actually, I got a little over, but with the 1040 Sakura, I exchanged for 4 Marcos. Also, this is very important. Don't wait till the last day to exchange. I repeat, please don't wait till the last day, because if you wait till the last day to exchange 1040 Sakura, you can only exchange for 2 Marcos or 2 Ivankos per day. So if I had done that, actually I got lucky, I did exchange for 2 Marcos so I did this. I'm sorry. I waited till the last day and I exchanged 520 Sakura to get 2 Marcos. And then I was like, shit, how am I going to exchange the remaining 520 Sakura for 2 more Marco? Fortunately, the event continued for 3 more days, not where you could get Sakura, but you can exchange your Sakura that you already have. So I was fortunate enough that I was able to spend the remaining 520 Sakura the next day. And because of that, I was able to get another 2 Marco pieces. So in total, I was able to get 4 Marco pieces, and then added with the Marco fragments from doing the event from the dragon prize. There was some compensation because apparently the very first day there was a bug where instead of Marco fragments, they gave us Sengoku fragments, and they didn't get a Sakura either. So they gave us a compensation of 85 Sakura and 45 Marco fragments. So I factored that in my total calculation. From spinning the lanterns, I was lucky in, well, I wouldn't say lucky. Lucky people actually get the 120 Marco fragments or the 120 Ivanko. I was not that lucky, but I at least got 10 Marco fragments 5 times. So that's a total of 50 Marco fragments. And then, so here's the thing. As soon as you get 120 Marco fragments, immediately convert that into a full Marco and start using that in overseas trade. So you can get more fragments from overseas trade. So I can't repeat enough. As soon as you get 120 fragments and you get 120 Marco fragments, convert that into 1 Marco piece and use that for overseas trade. So you can continue building more fragments. So by the time the event is done, you will get at least like 30, 35 extra fragments that you can use, right? So this last piece, I'll get to that, but actually I'll talk about it right now. So most of the time after an event character is complete, so we're not talking about like Boa Hancock or Perona kind of events or even Rayleigh. Those are just regular events. I'm talking about actual like dragon events with Dharma dolls and the whole 9 yards. So for those type of events, usually they're followed by 2 rib events. The rib events are where you save up ribs and you spend the ribs and essentially go through the dungeons and clear as much as dungeons as you can. And each time you clear a dungeon, you have a chance of getting a special token. It could either be a potion, a black rose. Many of you have seen other like white rose, and like there are other vouchers and New Year's. There was something for New Year's like Valentine pens, but essentially. So Rayleigh did have a rib event too, but it was isolated. It didn't have a dragon event connected to that. And because of that, I didn't waste a lot of my ribs on Rayleigh because, if I had 800 ribs at the time, maybe I would have, but I spend my ribs for the dragon event characters. So I would have spent it for Sabo if I had started playing at that time. I did spend ribs on Sengoku, and it was totally worth it because my Sengoku is +8 right now, and by God, +8 Sengoku is a monster. Don't take my word for it. Try to get Sengoku up to like even +7. You're going to see a huge difference. And speaking of Sengoku, you're going to need him on the dragon events, because when you're in dragon, I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you have Sengoku, you can get through all the rounds and keep attacking the dragon. Usually what happens is after round 5 or round 6, I forget because I've had Sengoku for a long time, but after round 5 or round 6, the dragon stuns every crew member in the front line, right? And then they're useless. They can't participate. They can't attack. They can't heal. They can do nothing. So only the back row people can continue attacking the dragon. But then I think by round 10 or round 12, the dragon then stuns the back row crew members. So now effectively you have 6 crew members that can't do anything. They're just standing there like jerking off. But pardon my language. The dragon stun can be made immune if you have Sengoku. As you know, Sengoku is immune to a lot of stuff, just like Garp. As long as Garp is in that particular mode, if he's in that super mode, he will be immune to a stun. So Sengoku, as long as you have a good amount of initial fury on him and you've leveled him up a little bit, you can maintain his Buddha form for a very long time. And then he'll keep ignoring the stun of the dragon, and he can carry you through 20 rounds with the dragon. And that way, the more rounds you attack, the more damage you do on the dragon, which means the more rank you climb up. Also, since Sengoku is one of the only crew members that will definitely last all 20 rounds and keep attacking the dragon, please put a high counter shadow on your Sengoku. I have a red counter shadow, which I believe gives a 40% chance to counter, and that's pretty high actually. And put Sengoku in the front line, just obvious, so that even if the dragon does a special attack or just a normal attack, each time it's hitting Sengoku and there's a chance that he counters. And if you know Sengoku's ability, the longer he lasts in Buddha form, the higher his crit rate and crit damage gets. And before long, you're doing like tons of damage just by countering, right? Okay, I sidetracked a bit. I am sorry. So ribs, if you can, be patient and save up to 800 ribs. What I do is every day I go into the store and buy 6 ribs. That will cost you 90 gold. Honestly, it's not a lot of gold. Just by doing your daily task, you're getting 150 gold every day. And of that 150 gold, I'm just considering that as an investment towards buying 6 ribs. You want to get as many ribs as possible. So you can get ribs by buying the 6 ribs every day. Always prioritize ribs when you do the pirate ally. In the pirate ally dungeon, when you can choose between 3 gifts, always choose the ribs. Even if the other one looks more enticing. If you have a choice of 1 rib and 5 cake, don't choose the 5 cake. Choose the 1 rib. Cakes are cheap, 5 gold a piece. You can get plenty of cakes, and you don't even need to spend cakes if you're smart with your sea rescue. But we'll get to that in another video. Always choose the ribs, even if it's 1 rib or 2 rib or 5 ribs. Always choose the ribs. Also, if you ever do top up, make sure that you don't forget to claim the free relay gift, which you will get ribs from that. And most of the time, well, sometimes from your daily top up bonus, which I think is the first tab at the top, you will get ribs. Sometimes it's promote stones, sometimes it's ribs. If you're lucky, you'll get ribs. And then the cumulative top up. If you top up to a certain point, you get extra gifts, and you get ribs from that too. My point is, get as many ribs as possible and do not spend it on, definitely do not spend it on everyday events. Like if you run out of vitality, that's fine. You're out of vitality. Tough luck. Do not spend ribs just so you can clear more dungeons if there's no event going on. If there's an event going on, if it's an event like Riley or Hancock, I mean, if you really want them, go get it. But I would save at least 800 ribs and save it up for a dragon character event like Sabo, like Sengoku, Marco, or Ivankov. I still have mixed feelings about Ivankov. I don't know how good a character Ivankov is going to be, but if you were going to spend it, Sengoku was definitely one of the ones you wanted to spend it on, because Sengoku, getting him to plus 8 is really cool. Even plus, if you can get it to +9, wow, that's awesome. But let me break it down and show you how much you can promote your character just by spending a lot of ribs. So people learn the hard way, right? I learned the hard way too. I did not have 800 ribs for the Marco event. I had about 500 something. Actually, I started out with 483, and then over the days I kept buying more ribs, and I got to 500, and then I got some more towards the last couple of days. So out of the 500 ribs or so, I got 492 portions. I was hoping this would get to 500, because with 500, you can exchange the portions. So let me break it down. When you spend ribs, the ratio is almost 1-to-1. Sometimes if you're unlucky, you won't get, if you spend 500 ribs, you won't get 500 portions, just like what happened to me. And mind you, some of the vitality was also from the daily vitality that you accumulate, so it's not all ribs, but still, you may not get 500 potions from 500 ribs. Sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get 600 potions from 500 ribs, right? It's all luck. But it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio. If you have 500 ribs at the start of the event, and you think you can accumulate another 50 or 100 ribs, so if you can get 600 ribs at least by the end of the event, it's very possible that you can get 600 portions. If you did get 600 portions, that means you can exchange. So 100 portions give you 60 fragments of that event character, and we all know we need 120 fragments of the event character to make a complete character, right? So in this case for Marco, I needed 120 fragments, which means that I would have to get the 60 fragments 2 times, which means I would have to spend 100 portions 2 times. So essentially you're spending 200 portions for 1 Marco, all right? Now if you had 600 portions, that is 200 times 3, so you would get 3 Marcos just from the 600 ribs. So just imagine if you had 800 ribs, that is a guaranteed 4 Marcos, okay? So just do the math. So by the time the dragon event was already complete, I had already got the +7 Marco because I had 720 fragments at that point in time. And then on top of that, if I had, which I did not, I was able to exchange 400 portions and got two more Marcos. So I was at 8 total Marcos. So not enough Marcos to get Marco +8, but I was still at 8. I needed 2 more Marcos. Fortunately, after the dragon events, usually there are 2 rib events. The first one was a portions event, and thankfully the very next week there was a black rose event. For the black rose, unfortunately I spent all my ribs during the first half, so I didn't have too many ribs. I started off at 72, and then I got some more the next day, and then I spent all that, and then eventually I got a little more, and I got 38 more ribs. But anyway, it was under 100 ribs that I had for that event, which was okay. And then I spent 100 black roses to get. Wait a minute, something's wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure. I spent 100 black roses to get 60 Marco frags, which is not even, that's like half a Marco. Oh yeah, so between the 2 weeks that passed for the Sakura event, I kept doing overseas trade, obviously, and I got more Marco frags. So I'm not sure if that was it, or if we had some kind of bug or compensation, but by the time the Black Rose event was done, I essentially had 10 pieces of Marco, well, 4 additional pieces of Marco from the +7, so I was able to bump up the +7 to +8, so I now have a +8 Marco. Yeah, I think I messed up on the calculation somewhere, because 10 Marcos is essentially 1,200 or 1,200 fragments of Marco. And from my calculations, if I combine everything that I got, all the fragments from the dragon event, compensation, lantern spin, and from the ribs, I got 1154 Marco frags. So yeah, I was about 66 fragments short. I don't know where that came from. This 66 is already included in this calculation. Well, somewhere I goofed up, but that's why it's important to keep track every day of what you write down, and just make sure every day you're keeping tabs of how many fragments you accumulate. But one thing that doesn't lie is your bags. You open the game and look at your bags and see how many partner fragments you have. Well, it's not in the bags, but you know what I mean. And I mean, if you have 1,200 partner frags, that means you can get 10 Marcos or 10 Ivankos, whatever, and get your character +8. Okay, so yeah, if you don't have the money to top up, guys, if you can't even spend like $1, it's gonna be rough, but you just have to be patient. Maybe you have to save up for 3 or 4 months. I mean, if you buy the 6 ribs every day and always pick ribs for the gifts in Pirate Ally, and You can also get ribs from overseas trade, both from yourself and from helping other friends clear their pirate attack. If you keep accumulating, you should easily be able to get like 15 ribs a day if you work hard on it. What that means is in 10 days you get 150, in 100 days you have 1,500 ribs. 1,500 ribs is a lot of ribs. Just get it to 1,600 and look where that math gives you. For the ribs event, that would be 8 partner pieces. And that would definitely compensate for not having to spend gold over here. So if you can just get 2 partner fragments from the dragon event, not fragments, but partner pieces, if you can get 2 Marcos or 2 Ivankos from the dragon event, which is not a lot, you just need 240 fragments. Let's go back to the Ivankov event. Let me see, if you're in the top 50 ranks, just for the daily prize and the dragon, you can get 84. Okay, so that's not as much as I thought. But I'm sure you will get some from the lantern spins. Let's just say you get, I'm gonna be generous here. You could get like 120 frags in one shot, or you can just get and 5 different, just like my Marco event. In my Marco event, I got on 5 different occasions, I was able to spin and get 10 pieces, right? So I got 50 frags. So let's just say you get 50 frags. That's an additional, let's see, total is 134. You still need another 90 something, right? So 134 means you can already create one Ivankov. So put Ivankov in overseas trade, and you can start getting 4 fragments a day. And during the event, or I mean, it doesn't even have to be that 1 week, because you're essentially going through 3 weeks, like the dragon event, the first ribs event, and the second ribs event. So that's 3 weeks. 3 weeks is 20 plus days. So if you're going 4 frags a week, that's 80 fragments. So 80 plus 134. Yeah, you're getting close, not quite 240 yet. So you just have to keep going at the overseas trade. And if you can get the 240 plus 2, or actually the 2 pieces gives you plus 5, you just need 8 more to get to Marco plus 8, which you can get from the ribs. So let's just go over the ribs calculation again. If you're able to get 15 ribs a day over a period of 100 days, which is 3 months, I know it seems like a long time, but hey, that's what it takes, right? If you're patient, you can do a lot of things. If I had saved from the time the Sabo event happened in Christmas, we're like 4.5, almost 5 months away from the Sabo event. If just imagine if I had saved, what is 5 months? That's like 150 days. Even with 100 days, if you had saved 15 ribs every day, that's 1,500. So you definitely would have saved 1,600 ribs by then, and 1,600 ribs will almost definitely give you 8 character pieces, which would push your character over to promote plus 8. So yeah, even if it is possible, it is very difficult and takes long. You definitely need a lot of patience and maturity to make that happen. But if you do not even have 1 cent to spend, and if you cannot spend or do any kind of top up, you still can get a plus 8 character. Just need patience, man. Yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for being patient with my long rant. I know I went on for almost an hour, but I hope this was helpful. Once again, if you need a copy of the spreadsheet so you can calculate, I have all the formulas in here for both the top-up amounts and like the overall calculation of the Sakura points and the dragon point. I mean the event character fragments calculation, the sum, and how that's calculated. If you need this, just reach out to me via instant messenger or just PM me, and I'll shoot you a copy of this spreadsheet, and you can just put in your numbers and keep track of it every day. And yeah, please like the video. If you would like to see more videos, we have a couple of videos on our King of Pirates Discord channel. Feel free to hit me up for more information. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is Thark Gaming signing out.